Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com. Thank you for joining me today, and I'm going to share these cards with you today, do a different colourway. This one actually featured on a blog hop I did with the Petals team, featuring all new products from the January to June mini catalogue. And I had a little play with some different colours. This is Rococo Rose, this is Daffodil Delight. Just to have another go at it. I really love these dies. We're going to use a different colourway today. I'm going to bring in some pretty peacock for today's card. So the stamp set is Delicate Petals, and we have the coordinating Lacy Petals dies that go with this. So this is a really fabulous set. Really love this. And then something you may have missed in the catalogue are these Stitched with Whimsy dies, which sort of just put the stitching into the cardstock. They don't cut anything out per se. A set of 6, really cute. So I was keen to try those as well. So with a bit of prep ahead of time, just so that you're not watching me run lots of things through the die cut machine. I've already done some of this background here with the slightly smaller than my original sample. So I'm just going to run that through again, and I'm using the cutting sandwich for this. So this isn't an embossing die, it is a cutting die. It just doesn't have an actual outline that pops out. So it will just cut in these fabulous details into your card. Isn't that just stunning? So I thought that was a really cute, interesting background to have on the card. And in addition, what we're going to do is just add some additional detail with this sort of lacy stamp. Now this is really interesting in that you can actually create a complete circle with this die, with this stamp. So that's a very interesting effect you can do there. But I'm just using it today for just to build up some interest in the background of my card. My flowers are going to be sort of coming out from the centre there. So I'm just sort of placing this here and there, just to sort of provide a bit of a backdrop for those cards. You may not see some of it, but that's absolutely fine too. Okay, so that's that, and we're going to lay some of this lovely white ribbon across the middle. This is from the Flowers for Every Season collection. Somehow or other I've managed to not have any of the pretty peacock ribbon in my stash, so I must have used it all up at some point. So we are using this white ribbon instead. And that piece is really long, but it does not matter. Just want to secure that over the edge there, like so. And what we will do is layer this straight onto a piece of black cardstock. So what I should say is the measurements for this. So the piece of black I've got is 3 7/8 of an inch by 5 5/8 of an inch, and the whisper white, or basic white we should say now. I am still using up. I've got a lot of whisper white to use up. So 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. Good grief, all these 8s. So just lining that up. It is a bigger border than I've used on my other sample, so it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. It's just interesting how these things work out. And I'm going to tie another piece of this off to the left here. Have I got enough for a little bow? Not sure. We'll find out in a moment. If not, it's going to be a knot. really want a little one, so that's going to be grand. So it will curl try and get the loops kind of the same size. Good tug on that. Okay. So bows are one of those things that you can literally fuss with forever, really. So we'll just there we are. That will do nicely, and we'll just tidy up those ends like so. Lovely. Okay, so that's our background piece kind of done. Also, ahead of time, I've done a little bit of die cutting with the flowers and the leaves. So we just need one more set of those, and I just wanted to show you how easily these cut. So just on a scrap of white there, and a scrap of the peacock, we'll just cut an additional pair of those petals straight through. Only takes moments to do, and the die, I mean, it just falls out. Look at that. Okay, and just with there isn't like tons of detail because a lot of it is actually embossed rather than cut, if you know what I mean. So that comes out really nice and quickly and cleanly. Okay, give that a bit of shape. Those in the bin, and same with the white one, straight out just like that. Beautiful. Okay, and that just pokes out of the die really easily. A few little bits and pieces to pop out, but not loads, so that's really easy to do. Okay, and again we'll just give that a bit of a whoops bit of a rub there, just to give it some shape. Get all these bits off my hand. And what we're going to do is just layer those up with some wet glue. Just put a bit over the middle there, and we can add the top layer. Oops. We can use that hole in the centre to help line it up, and I like the petals offset, like so. That glue doesn't take long to dry at all. Okay, and I'm just using the silicone craft sheet because it's really good. If you get glue on it, it just literally peels off just like that. Okay, really easy to keep your surface clean with one of those. Really inexpensive, nice thing to have in your craft stash. Okay, now I'm just thinking that I should have put that onto my Pretty Peacock card base ready, because when the flowers get added on, it's going to be tricky to add the glue. So we'll just add some of that across the back. It's really strong, so you don't need much. So just making sure my 3 edges on the right hand side there are lined up before I drop down the one on the left. Perfect. Ooh, little smidge of glue there. That's just rubbed off there. Okay then, so what we need to do is add our flowers. So I do like to just have a look at how they're going to look on the card without any glue, so that I can decide how we're going to lay those out. And that looks super duper. So I think that's what we're going for. So we'll just flip those over and add some wet glue to the back, because again that will give us, it's strong but it will give us some manoeuvrability. Let's move over there so that's less Right, so if we tuck this one in, right there, it's overlapping the ribbon a bit, so I'm just going to hold that down just for a sec so it can secure itself to the card. And then this one's going to go over here somewhere. It's nice if they end up in different orientation, it looks a little more natural. Don't worry about the bead of glue coming up through there, because that's going to get covered with an embellishment. And I'm going to tuck this one in like so. So I'm just going to hold that just for a moment while that takes a moment or two to set up. I'm just going to put some glue on my mat there, because what I can do is use that to sort of dunk the ends of our leaves in and tuck those in where I need them. So then you need to be secured, don't they? So I think one's going to go under there. All dries clear as well, so don't worry too much about any stray bits of glue coming out here and there. And then I think we need another one off this side just to balance out that green. And we'll have one, oops, can't pick it up. Be sort of tucked in under there, like so. Now that wet glue just gives you those little moments just to adjust things if you would like. I think this one needs to go up here. There we are. Doesn't that look super duper? So that's just going to dry and it will peel off once it's dry. You'll know it's dry because it goes clear. And all we need to do now is add a sentiment. So I'm going to switch the sentiment to this little "for you," and it fits beautifully in that stitched detail. This is the Pretty Peacock ink to coordinate with the cardstock, and by putting the sentiment there as well, it will draw your eye to that stitching as well, so it doesn't get lost. Is that not stunning? And then we will pick up these beautiful matte black dots. You'll find those, I think, on the page with the Love You Always suite. There's a beautiful black and white paper in that suite. I don't actually have that particular paper, but I really liked these because they were matte rather than all blingy and shiny. So just press that in place. There is a bit of glue squidging out on the side of those, but we can just remove some of the excess, but it will dry clear, so it will be less noticeable then as well. And there you have it, guys. I hope you like that colour. It's a bit different. I wanted to show some different sort of looks to this card, so depending on your your preference for colour. Colour is a very subjective thing, and what people like is very different, so I'd be interested to know which one you like. I have to say the originals always seem to be the best for me, but I do like the others. I'd love to know what you think too. Thanks ever so much. As always, if you just click on the description below, there'll be loads of details. I'll link back to the original blog post for this, so you can see this was an entry to a blog hop, so there'll be lots of other projects linked in there too. Alright, so I hope that's been fun for you all. Do let me know which one you prefer. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye everybody.